And we're live. Um, okay, I guess this is good enough. Yeah. So I'm anticipating not having any viewers for this show, but that's okay. Let me just lower the volume there a little bit, just so that I don't destroy you guys' earbuds. But yeah, I've been meaning to do this for a long time. By long time, I mean couple days. Um, yeah, a couple days. Been meaning to this for a couple days, couple weeks actually. I've been meaning to have like a couple guests, but life has just managed to get in the way of the podcast. Like I took a break after Julian left after the last podcast, but then I was trying to get like other people, but then like no one really showed up for it. Like some people were like, "Yeah, I'm down," but then like scheduling conflicts, it being Christmas, them just not getting back to me. So here we are. I really want to keep the podcast going. I really want to keep the ball rolling. So yeah, let's go for it. It's this podcast definitely isn't going to be what I want it to be. I wanted to have a guest. I wanted to be asking questions. I wanted to be learning from someone else. But you know, it's whatever. Anyway, so today's podcast is on what I learned in 2024, just in general in life and in relation to downhill skateboarding. I also did manage to get like a couple people to chime in with some of the things that they learned, which was nice of them to say. So we'll be looking at some of that stuff, and yeah, maybe I shouldn't expose everything that they've shared. But yeah, maybe I should keep some of it private, which I will. But yeah. So whoever, what's up? I see someone's commented in the chat. Let me load up the chat for myself. Actually, real quick. Um, yeah, there we go. Wait, here we go. Um, what's up, Vivek? What's up? How are you, brother? What's up from India? You know, guys, for the people watching, India actually has a lot of dope hills. Like, if you go to maps, check out India. There's like a lot of crazy stuff there. And if I had an unlimited budget, I would for 100% be out in India, shredding hills, um, exploring the area. And yeah, like look at this. Look when you get up to the Himalayas, bro. Like look at all these crazy, crazy terrain, man. It would be crazy, I bet. And I hope one day downhill just become super worldwide, and we can go explore places and have events randomly. It would be sick. Anyway, so what I learned in downhill in 2024, we're gonna start with trucks. So as you guys know, if you do follow the channel, I picked up the what's it called? The Rogue Freeride V3 trucks, as well as I picked up the Rogue Cast trucks. Rogue put out some trucks this year. The new cast, Zach Matum was kind enough to send them out to me, and I got to mess with them. I also got to mess with the Rogue V3 Freeride trucks, so that's been super fun this year. Personally, what I learned from that is maybe short barrels are generally better for freeride, and this also pulls from my experience with the Valkyrie trucks, Valkyrie MK3s, and other precision trucks that I've used. So generally, with shorter barrels, I've found that I'm able to have a slightly stronger center and a quicker end to the lean. Now, those two things are really important. If you follow the channel, I always talk about them. I always repeat the same things. I think there's something wrong with me. Always repeating the same things, but to repeat it one more time for everyone who hasn't heard it, the things that I look for in a freeride truck are a strong center. A strong center is important because it gives you number one stability, but it also gives you a strong sort of center point to hang out in when you've kicked out the trucks into a slide. Uh, Trucks that have insert bushings, trucks that have slope stopping mechanisms tend to have this strong center. So road cast trucks actually do have a strong center, and Valkyries as well, Ronins, the ZM1s. What else? I hear Rojas have very strong center, which make them like incredible for free riding. Um, but yeah, the other thing, but you can have a strong center and still use tall barrel bushings. But the other thing that's really important is a short end to the lean or a quick end to the lean. Why I think that's important is you're able to sort of get into that slide quicker and more comfortable. And when you're in the slide, it's harder for you to tip into low siding or high siding, having that short barrel bushing, because you have a quicker end to the lean. And it's not necessarily that short barrel bushings give this. You can have a tall barrel truck designed to have a quick end to that lean, but short barrel bushings just tend to work a little bit better, and they worked better for me in the Rogue cast trucks and other um, Rogue products. The gold Rogues still worked well with tall barrels for freeride, but I think that's also because they have such a short hanger. So there's that. So I think maybe short barrels may be better for freeride. If I was designing a freeride truck, I would start with short barrels before I did consider tall barrels. So if you do have a tall barrel truck and you're mainly doing freeride, do consider trying out short barrels. All right. So I actually do have a cold. Let me quickly take my cold medicine. Completely forgot about it. So yeah, if you guys did learn anything, do comment a little something, and let me know what it is that you learned. I am monitoring the comments as always. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any guests today. This is just me and you guys. So yeah. Anyway, now we're gonna move on to some user submitted things. So there's someone on Instagram who hit me up, DM'd me. I don't think they want anyone to know what it is that they've learned, but 2024 learning. They say talk block should probably be further back, which is interesting. To that, I'd say when I'm setting up my talk block, I want it to be a little bit under the ball of my foot, just so that it's more secure and actually supporting my foot. And what else? Maybe I should grab my board so you guys can see. Yeah, and this is not a critique necessarily of them saying the talk block should be further back, but it's more like some suggestions when they're setting up their talk block. So I like it to be, I like my ball of my foot to actually be about here. And why I like that, it just gives me more contact with the board when I'm tucking and prevents my foot from slipping off. The other key thing that may help is angling the torque block quite a bit. It may give you more room on the heel side edge. And I know some people, I know I don't like it when I have the torque block very uncomfortably under my heel, forcing it up. It feels very awkward and kind of strains my calves a little bit. It's just a weird position. So yeah, consider that ball of your foot and then angling it as much as possible. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. It's always like you're always learning small things, so that's pretty dope. 2024, the next thing this person learned, a la Adrian Pinel, take good notes after a skate session and reflect on your skating. This one is huge. I do this. I always do this. This is the way I skate. I don't necessarily like sit down and write in a notebook what I've done or whatever, but I always make a mental note. Sometimes I do. Some of you may realize that I use kind of Instagram like my diary. Like I post like about my skate session, about what setup I have, and it's fun to write about it, but it's also for record keeping for myself, so I can kind of look back, look at what I tried, look what worked for me, what I hated. So if you're struggling with skating, or if you want to improve better, noting down what you've done will help a lot. All right, let's move on to the next thing. All right, so decks. So I learned a lot about decks. I learned a lot about decks. Decks, yeah, decks. So what did I learn about decks? So as you guys know, last year in Christmas, I got. Let's see if this video will load up. Let's hope it's muted. Perfect. So I got some products from what's it called? What are these guys called? Um, no, not that. But I got some products from Rocket Longboards. Maybe not Christmas, but yeah, I didn't get it for Christmas. But I got it at some point in Christmas. I got the race tail and I got a custom Dawn. Danielle hooked it up with the custom Dawn. I'm bleeding. Why am I bleeding? Yeah, Danielle hooked it up with the custom Dawn, and I got it 8.7 inch wide versus I think the stock was like 8.3, and I think I got it too wide. Let me grab the board and explain why. So this is the custom Dawn. Sick board. I think the concave is sick. But the reason I was getting it wide is because on the Rocket Rhino, where my heel goes is 8.7 inches in width. So I was like, why don't I just get a board that's 8.7 inches in width where my feet go, where the important stuff happens. So I got that, but I think I got it too wide. And the reason is I recently switched back to the Rocket Rhino, and it's working perfectly fine for me, perhaps even better than the Rocket Dawn. And the way those problems sort of manifested for me was like I'd get like too much input when I was riding this board. Like the ZM ones were perhaps a little bit too narrow for this 8.7 inch width. So sometimes in corners or like going super fast, like the trucks would feel over leveraged and a little bit floaty. So I'd have to like kind of tighten the back truck down a little bit more than I'd like. So there's that. So perhaps maybe this isn't the right width for ZM1s, but I don't know. I'll still figure it out. So because like maybe wider isn't better, or maybe a consistent width over the of the deck isn't better. I'm kind of hesitating with sort of designing my own board or getting another custom board or experimenting because it is quite a costly process. And yeah, maybe I don't know anything. The other thing is I wish I had sports where I could go super fast all the time and really like take shit to the limit and be able to test it well. Unfortunately, I don't. Like this setup absolutely killed it in like all my local spots, bro. Like it's goated. Like I can skate it so well, but I don't know, man. It's just I think too wide. I think too wide for the ZM1 Magnum combo. I think other precision trucks it might be fine, but I think for this shit it's too wide. Maybe I should just chop it down. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, skateboards, making skateboards, it's so weird. So yeah. Go away. Uh, yeah, I don't know anything. I'm scared to design my own board, as I've just said right here. But yeah, there were definitely performance benefits. I felt like I did way better in stand-up slides. Like the width allowed me to put my toes over the front truck a little better, and that gave me more consistent sort of more of a consistent feel and more confidence and more leverage over the front truck when doing toe side stand up slides. However, I have switched, as I've said, over to the Rocket Rhino with the cone bushings, and it's like working fine. I'm doing stand up fine, like it's crazy. So maybe I don't know anything. The other thing I learned is torque block. Torque blocks are important. You for sure want a torque block, and it's really cool to see like all the crazy stuff Rocket is doing, like with the race tail and like the different types of wedges you can get for your board. Um, like I thought this was dope. Like I'd personally be interested in making a board like the Pantheon Tortuga. Like it looks pretty sick. Uh, but yeah, man, there's like I think having a torque block or having like a concave mod at the back that is under your back foot helps a lot, and I really enjoyed it, and I think people should try it. The other thing that I really want to try that I haven't tried this year is a toe stop. A toe stop is basically all that fancy foot stop stuff you see people using these days. So just having like a toe stop here apparently helps the riding experience. Some people say they can kind of push into it when doing hillside slides and locks them in a little bit better. Some people say it gives them more control in toe sides, which kind of doesn't make any sense to me. But I think I really do want to try it, and it it would not be harmful to try it. Like it might be great. You know what I mean? So definitely one things I want to try. And yeah, I think the shape of your deck still matters a lot. Like for sure, like I don't know, man. Like 8.7, I thought this deck would be like it for me forever, but I guess I still have to go back to the drawing board, which is very disappointing and very, very annoying. So there's that. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to some user submitted things. So Magby says he learned the art of consistency and resilience. Though the best part about skateboarding this year is how much the progression has elevated. Guys and girls pushing each other to be gnarlier, filming clips and genuinely showing love for each other. If that ain't heaven, in this case, I don't know what is. So Magmi is a street skater in the Kenyan skate scene. Sick guy. He took my phone and never returned it. So Magby, I still remember that. But he's a great guy anyway. He runs his own skate shop, which is sick. And yeah, Kenya skate scene has been progressing a little bit better this year, so that's been super nice to see. So yeah, moving on to another user submitted thingy from Mike, Bay Area longboarder based in San Francisco. I'm not gonna lie, San Francisco looks like it's been having the most fun in terms of sessions this year. And Mike says you can grow the skate community with consistent local events and sessions. Be the scene you want to see, and I 100% agree with that, Mike. You can absolutely do it, but it takes a team, and everyone has to want it. Can't just be one person. And I'm really stoked for the San Francisco scene. Stoked you're supporting. The homies out there. Stoked Aaron is out there as well. I don't know who else is running events and stuff like that, but it's pretty sick to see. And I hope you guys reap the fruits of your of whatever you've sown. So now back to myself. Yeah, this year I learned that magnums are good. Like magnums are, I think, probably the best wheel out there. I'm not gonna lie. Like racing, all this other stuff. I haven't tried deltas. I haven't tried the 88 Wilco wheels, but magnums are just goated. And this year I absolutely understood why people absolutely love them, and I still think they're pretty dope. I do have a fresh set of the red leaf magnums that I do want to do a review of eventually. But those are also sick. They perform a little bit differently to the old magnums, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing. But yeah, yeah, the other companies, really happy to see them killing it this year. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So next I have John Kraus has submitted some stuff. I don't know if I'm allowed to post it, so I will. He did DM me. He did DM me, so I'm gonna keep it hidden. Some of the things he be saying, and give you guys a Spark Notes version. So number one, he said, find a local person to network with. They may demonstrate the simplicity of a move that creates a tipping point of progression forward. And if you guys don't know, John Kraus has his own YouTube channel. I don't think I'll be able to find it, but it's like, oh, why don't I just check his channel? What's wrong with me, dude? Like, let's just see, John. It's okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, he has his own YouTube channel. Like personally, I always enjoy like checking out other people's YouTube channels, watching them progress and stuff like that. So he's always sharing like what he's doing session to session, what his setups are. He always has like a nice voiceover. always like sharing stuff, and this is another way of documenting, going back to what someone else said, which is I always think pretty sick. Um, Shout out Francisco, Happy New Year's as well, bro. And yeah, man, thank you for all that stuff. Feto Kun says, "Am I getting the new Trotter Pro to try?" Yes, I've been talking with Liam. Liam was actually supposed to be one of the guests on my show. I am keen to get those new Trotter Pro wheels. They look sick. Um, but it's just now the shipping companies I think are closed up till Jan 15th. So if I get anything, it'll probably be to the end of January or the beginning of February as well. I've had to sell some gear. Um, I sold my gold Rogues and the what do you call it, the Diego Pro that I had to some homies in the Philippines. So hopefully that will cover the shipping, and then there's a couple other things some companies want to send me. So hopefully that'll cover all of that. I also did sell my Rogue V3s, but I kind of fucked up and spent all that money already. Anyway, so yeah, John Kraus has some dope stuff. Fun to check out, fun to watch him progress. Yeah. So yeah, he says that finding someone else to learn from may create like a tipping point to help you progress forward. His friend Bailey, who's been skating for 4 years, showed him how to do a proper Coleman slide. And that's the thing, as much as like online tutorials can teach you XYZ, actually having people to learn from is extremely important, because when you're learning by yourself, you're the only critique, right? You don't know exactly what you're doing wrong. And just seeing other images of other people, you may not be able to pick up like the subtle things they're doing that you're not doing. So, very important to have more experienced people show you the way. And yeah, skating with Julian as well was super nice. Like, there's some things I learned, and it's actually what made me change up my setup quite a bit. But yeah, I'm back on the Rhino. It's working well, it's fun, so kind of interesting. So, what does he say? Bailey took me to Alva Road, San Diego in May and saw some awesome and expert skills from the entire crew. Blew my mind. Got to meet pro Adrian Painel and see pro skills more mind blowing. As well, seeing downhill skateboarding at a super high level is extremely inspiring and extremely scary as well, and extremely sick. So, if you've started out and there's like a race in your area or something like that, or like a hill all the pros go to, just like show up one day. Don't necessarily have to skate, just show up, vibe, watch people skate, maybe shuttle people, maybe just sit in the car or whatever, just watch people skate. It's a treat. So yeah. So number 3, he says seeing pros blow his mind, motivated him to actually start training, and he has been for almost 6 months. Met my local unofficial training coach Billy. Shout out Billy, who's been skating for over 6 years and chat almost daily. They met on Alva Road. I have no idea Alva Road is. Number 4, played in the rain and jump started my skills in the Coleman technique, as well as his first ever toe side slide. I first learned how to slide in the rain. So if you've never skated in the rain, or if you're a beginner struggling with the slides, skating in the rain can allow you to progress faster. Like, it's kind of like a cheat code. So you're able to experience some things you quicker than you would just skating in the dry. Like the feeling of controlling a long slide, the feeling of the kick out, subtle things like. So it's extremely important to skate in the rain if you have the opportunity. It's super good. So yeah, signed up Patreon with me first, and then Owen Campbell. First time ever listening to podcasts, and they were yours. I highly recommend also just listening to other podcasts as well. The other people who put out dope podcasts. You always learn something new. So very valuable. Number 6, Talk Block was groundbreaking. We see the Talk Block is extremely popular this year, so that's pretty dope. And number 7, set up my permanent board and only change wheels. So yeah, that's what I agree also. Like if you're starting out, it's more important to have like a specific board that you use and that you learn on. Make sure the board is kind of dialed in, and then mainly learn off that board, because a lot of the time, and it happens with me as well, switching between boards, you spend so much time learning that board before you're then able to progress and like learn other stuff. So highly recommend that. And number 9, he said he skipped number 8. Most important, give back to the community. He gave a young teen a set of caliber 3 trucks, wheels, and helped set up his board. He can now do Coleman's properly and understand setup curve, etc. Made YouTube video of it. Recommend you watch my training videos. So thank you. Giving back to the community is always important. We don't have any Groms at this moment in time, or very few. So our community is like the community of South Korea. It's about to implode because no one's having babies in South Korea. Very sad. But then all their males are incels, apparently. That's all I know about the topic. But yeah, we need to foster the youth. We need to encourage people to start learning. And it's not easy, but as a community, it's our role. So now shifting back to me, what did I learn? What more did I learn? So racing. So you guys know Julian was here. He was supposed to race. We didn't really race at all. Because of sudden circumstances. It started raining when we got out there, but like there's a lot that I learned. Like where's this video? So what happened here is he had not fresh wheels, but wheels that were much fresher than mine. He also had nicer bearings than I did. Like my bearings are like literally squeaking right now, dry as hell. And I think I was faster than him overall down. Like I'm taking slightly better lines. I keep catching him in the corners and stuff like that. But racing, you need people to push you. You need more experienced people to learn from, and just like you can't get that good just being in your own bubble. Like you could be kind of good on a hill, but like you can't get that good just being in your own bubble. You need other people to learn from, other way better people than you to learn from. Not saying that Julian is way better than me, but there are certain things he was doing better. So yeah, one of the things that I did learn is, for example, let me. If you see this, look at this, right? How quickly it gets back into tuck and how long it takes me to get back into tuck. Now that's because my setup, I think, because of the over leveraging as well, like kind of messed me up a little bit, and also my torque block wasn't set up that well. So there's that. Now with this other setup, I am able to get back into tuck a little bit quicker. So I don't think Julian would be able to beat me as easily. But yeah, it's always learning, stuff like that. And yeah, I think I need new bearings. So yeah. Yeah, and if I went to an international race, I'd probably suck, to be very honest. Probably not that bad, but I'd probably suck. And then the other thing that I learned as well is like, because I'm not that un-aero, right? But Julian's also not that much more aero than me. I don't know how much my slow wheels and shit bearings played a part, but I really wasn't able to reel him in as fast as I'd like, right? And I think also just knee pads and shorts are very unaerodynamic, so there's that to consider if you guys ever are competing without leathers. Like knee pads apparently cause a lot of turbulence, so not recommended. But also half shell doesn't help as much, so there's that. Now let's move over to the community. So the other thing that I've learned this year is that the community is always goated. The community is always incredible, always amazing. You guys are great, very supportive. I haven't posted that much content this year, but you guys are still supportive. So thank you very much for supporting me, and I hope to. I really want to come back with videos. I really want to do more stuff, but I have to find a balance between that and life. The other thing that I learned is that Kenya actually has absolutely goated hills, bro. Like stuff was crazy, and I have to go back here and like actually send it a little bit, because this pending stuff, nah, bro. Yeah, this hill was actually so crazy, man. Like this part is so steep. I think I want to go back, and when I go back, I want to at least like only air brake down it and do one slide, but that also just seems so gosh darn scary. But hopefully I'd have dialed in my setup considerably, and I won't be as much of a coward, because yeah, man, like this shit was scary. So yeah, so Kenya has goated hills. If you want to visit, we're thinking about going back here in February, or yeah, in February, early February maybe. So hit me up if you're down. and we'll see because this hill is sick. I think WDSC should come and host a race here. Um, yeah, I think they should come and host a race here for sure. I'll hit up those guys, but like I don't know, man. I don't want to be the one organizing all this shit, bro. I want to enjoy, you know. I just wanna be on the hill and vibe and go fast. But yeah, I'm eager to go back. I may need to buy a new full face helmet. I don't know where I'm gonna get money to do all of this shit, but 2025 is gonna be a dope year. So yeah, inshallah, God shall provide. Yeah, number two, there are a lot of slimy, weird people in longboarding, man. Like that's the thing I've realized. There's like people aren't normal, well-adjusted individuals in longboarding. Everyone is just kind of off. I'm not gonna lie, and there are some slimy people. So usually, if you hear a rumor about someone, like obviously don't judge them off that. But sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And if you hear several things about a person repeatedly, where there's smoke, there's fire. And this year, I kind of learned that a little bit. And I've just been talking to a lot of people and just hearing the experiences with this person. And yeah, it's like that. But yeah, man, there are a lot of weird people in longboarding, but that's just how it is, bro. That's just how it is. And yeah, community is goated though. Now I'm kind of done with everything that I learned this year. Kind of fulfilled my goal of doing this podcast. So I'm gonna quickly go through my videos and see what else I can tell you guys about. Yeah, the race day was goated. I think I personally don't think I'd buy it again. I think if I could just get a more solid top block on a deck, I think I'd be happier with that just because I could shift that a little bit more. I did learn a lot of things about the ZM1s. So let me just put that here. So I wanted to do like a standalone video, but since you guys are here, I'm going to comment or say whatever and then make the video anyway later on in life. Um, so yeah, so here's what I learned about my ZM1s this year. So there's a lot of things that were different. So number one, I used to run with my foot stop. Right now it's on this mount or on this mount, but then I used to have it like further forward all the way on this hole, and that just gave me more leverage over the front truck. And I used to run a pink, barrel, and it used to give me that center, and then used to allow me to dive like quite easily. Also because I paired it with a smaller washer. I did try a cone with that setup, but I ended up really not liking it because I felt like the cone would dive too quickly, and like I was kind of fighting with it and trying to balance in the slides as well. But then now moving my footstop back a little bit on the suggestion of Adrian Paynell, I have a little bit less leverage over the front truck, but with the cone kind of offsets that. So I still get great center, as good center as I did, or even better than the pink barrel. But now the dive is a little bit more controlled since I don't have as much leverage. And what that's done is, even though I don't have a ton of width on this board over the front truck as I did with my other setup, like my toe side stand-ups are still so good, so controllable. My toe sides in general are also quite controllable. The other thing that I did notice with having like my footstop all the way forward was I had so much leverage turning toe side, hands down, that it made it feel weird sort of riding the edge of traction. Like, you remember that problem I was saying with the blue cone? With the old configuration where it suddenly dive too aggressively. Like I'd have that issue with the pink barrel, and I felt very uncomfortable on toe sides. And toe sides are my jam, like they're the main thing I practice. But because I kind of already know the limit on most of the roads that I skate, and I can go hard, that problem didn't manifest. So yeah, another thing is important to skate new roads. Yeah, it's important to skate new roads because like if I didn't have that trip, if I didn't explore those new roads, skate super fast and see Julian skating better than me, I'd have like just thought like everything was fine. So skating new roads can like highlight when there's issues with your setup, where like your normal spots won't highlight those issues. So there's that. So yeah, man, like don't stand too far in front of your truck, and the cone is actually more goated than the pink barrel. So there's that. The other thing that I learned about ZM1s is these things chew up your bushings, brother. Like I think you need to replace them like once every 9 months or something like that, because like you really do wear out your bushings and they end up being a little smaller than they are when they're brand new. And especially the back truck. The back truck, you actually have to tighten down this thing quite a bit, in order to eliminate that dead zone. But when they're fresh and you do that, you eliminate that dead zone. But then you skate them for a little bit, and then that dead zone kind of comes back because the bushings were down, and then you have to do that, and it gets to a point where like, because you've tightened them so much, right? They It's kind of off axis or off not off center, but like it's not on the right axis of rotation. So then you finally have to replace your bushings, and then that cycle repeats. So yeah, just keep in mind these aren't like your other trucks, and do tighten down your bushings and do replace them every 6 to 9 months or 6 to 12 months, depending on um, how they feel. For me, like they kind of how they felt weird and how I knew how to replace my bushings is like at the edge of traction, at the limit, like the back truck started breaking traction before the front truck, and it just kind of felt like they were kind of doing their own thing. And I have a video where like where that happened, right? Yeah, here. Like I had to replace them. Like you can't really see it too much, but like I don't know, it just kind of felt weird, but I was still skating them well, so there is that. Anyway, final thing that I switched up was, so now like the gold rogues, I'm running them narrow in the front and wider in the back, which is kind of weird. I didn't think they'd feel good like this, but they do feel good. They give me that smooth transition into the slide, and the back trucks a little bit better, at the edge of traction. It doesn't want to break traction as easily. Um, so yeah, it's just overall a smoother riding experience, and this is what a lot of people are doing. Shout out Julian for getting me to try this, opening my eyes and allowing me to experiment. I did try this setup, exact same configuration on the Dawn, and it felt like shit on the Dawn. So I don't know how much shape and all this stuff affects like configuration or whatever. So there's that. So yeah, that's what I learned about ZM1s. What else did I learn about ZM1s? I don't know, man. The whole like having to crank down the back truck has kind of put me off of them a little bit. I personally just want a truck that I just put together, tighten down the truck, and it's good to go, which is why those Valkyries have piqued my interest a little bit. So I'm going to be trying to save up to buy like a set, or I might wait for Owen Campbell's review. But we shall see. Yeah, save up, buy a set, see what they're about. But yeah, man, like kind of put me off. I just want a truck. I put the bushings, I set it up, and it's good to go. I don't have to worry about, oh, is my back truck tightened down a little bit. I really disliked Ronins because like you'd have to clean them every now and then. Um, you'd have to check parts are in one. You'd have to replace parts. You'd have to replace bushings because you actually ended up having to crank the bushings down quite a bit. So I really hated them because of that, and I sold them because like they were great trucks, but just the maintenance, dude, like I fucking hated it. And they didn't turn in as much as I'd like. So these were like my level of tolerance. Like it's cool. Like I don't have to do too much maintenance. Like sometimes I clean the bearings, but too much maintenance, that's cool. Not really. But the bushing thing is kind of off-putting a little bit, and I'm considering maybe trying something else. I just want a truck. I just stand on it, turns good, is stable, works great at the limit, and I don't want to worry about it too much. And I think maybe those Valkyries might be the key, but we shall see. I'm gonna be harassing Owen Campbell. He has a set that he's gonna review. I'm gonna be harassing him, see what he thinks before I buy. So yeah, I'm waiting for another reviewer's review, which is crazy. We should be enemies. We should be competing against each other. We should be having battles to the death. But here we are being friends. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, uh, I don't have much else I want to say. Thank you for watching. If you have anything you want to comment, leave a comment. Let me see. Wagwan. Shout out everyone who's comment, the three of you. Thank you for being here with me. Shout out to the concurrent viewers. Hopefully, we're going to be able to kickstart this year with more podcasts, weekly podcasts, no matter what. Come rain, come sunshine, come don't come blue balls, whatever, bro. Like just weekly podcasts, get that stuff going. And that's the other thing I learned. Like people are craving longboard entertainment or longboard media, right? And we need more people posting content, posting edits, posting podcasts, posting reviews, and yeah. And the other thing, before I sign off, I just want to talk about one thing that really, really pisses me off, bro. I think longboard companies are taking the piss, right? Shout out Fetokun, just seen your comment. I think longboard companies are taking the piss. So we need reviews. People don't know jack shit about your products. People don't know. Let's see, Rogue ZM1s. Oh yeah, one more other thing that I learned is it's definitely a good idea to have less ads on my website. So let me see. Yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, I hope some of you have, if you do use the website, but I have way fewer ads. So I do have ad block running. So let's see. So I've reduced the number of ads that I have, just to sort of make it more digestible. So yeah, not too many ads now. Ads do break the website a little bit, which is kind of annoying. Let's check the ZM1 review, but like they're fewer now, which I really, really appreciate. And I should have done this way before, but I think my greed got the best of me. But now I'm greedy no more, bro. Shout out Philip. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, we need weekly stuff. More roasts, maybe. But yeah, fewer ads. I think there's an ad here. But yeah, generally fewer ads and stuff. What is this broken? But yeah, fewer ads. I think it's absolutely killed my my money making. But whatever, guys. Yeah, okay. We're almost done roasting. But let me roast companies a little bit. Because we need more reviews and we need companies to I don't know, man, maybe it's a little bit of entitlement from me, or maybe I don't know, but like you guys enjoyed the Owen Campbell roast, right? Yeah, that was fun to make. I hope I wasn't too rude. I hope I didn't make people too upset, but that was fun to make. And I hope I'll team up with him to do more stuff like that. But yeah, I think companies really need to give out more products for reviews. Number one, because it's great. It's good for your image as well. Like people know about your product. They know what they want to buy from you. They learn if it's right for them. It's great. And it's most of the time it's if you send me like if you send me the MK4 slaloms, right? I don't know what your material costs will end up being, but you spend like what 250, I don't know, like 200, 250, yeah, 250, or let's say half of this, whatever that is, to 70, I don't know, 280, let's say $280, right? Yeah, you send it to me, you're out of pocket $280. If just one single person buys MK4 slaloms, you've made your money back. And these things aren't cheap. So having like anything that could influence someone to like buy a product is extremely useful. And I think giving the product to reviewers to review is extremely important and may pay off to you. I don't know if I'm making a very compelling argument, but here's the thing that really sort of sent me over the edge. So if you read these descriptions, the rear truck features the first inverted pivot design, which places the main pivot slightly behind the axles for superior grip without any metal on metal contact. With open bushing seat, the red truck is centered with a riptide core, urethane insert for low maintenance and superior durability. However, blah blah blah, for a snappier response. Um, you see, I'm kind of like, okay, what does this mean? Main pivot slightly behind the axles for superior grip without any metal on metal contact. What does that mean? How does that relate to performance? Like, you see, like, I'm not really gaining any information from this. Like, it's just words, and like they make sense in a sentence, but like I'm not really like learning anything. Or like this, our fourth generation slalom truck brings a rear truck, fully imagined rear that's built for high grip and faster hookups coming out of slides. High grip and faster hookups. What does that even mean, bro? Faster hookups, like I don't get it. High grip and faster hookups, like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. And personally, if you could describe your product to me, I would be very happy. I would be very happy to not have any reviews. But it's very frustrating to see this and you know and not be able to use any of this information to make like a purchase decision. I don't know about other people, but this doesn't make any sense. Like it kind of makes sense, but like there's a ton to unpack with MK4 slaloms, but at the core of the design changes was the desire to make something more race oriented with a rear truck that grips hard, then effortlessly snaps the board back after a slide. Okay, so I don't know, man. Like that's why reviews are important because um, they provide people with the information they need to discern whether this product is for them or not. Of course, not all reviewers are great, but it also kind of sucks that some companies just wait for people to like post for free. You know what I mean? Like do the work for them for free. Um, Zach Zach Matum did give me a discount on the ZM1s, which was very sick. Um, hasn't made me like them anymore, I'd have to say. But it was very sick, kept my costs low, and I was able, because of that discount, I was then able to buy the Rogue V3s and also do a review on those and tell people that, hey, they kind of suck, but if you do this and that, they're way better. So there's that. But let's see what they say. The ZM1 features a completely refreshed truck design engineered to dramatically increase traction and response, featuring spherical bearings in both the hanger and base plate, standard height bushings, and our hyper-aggressive hanger geometry. ZM1s are our most optimized performance truck to date. Okay, so they again don't really say much, like they say some stuff, they describe the product, but like in terms of performance, we're not getting much. But where Zach is different is he actually gives people products, or at least me, gave me like a product discounted to review, which was very nice. So there's that. And finally, let's talk about deltas. And I think Seismic and Delta, Seismic is one of the most egregious offenders, right? They don't give stuff out for free unless you're a team rider. They don't give for free to anybody. I heard something about events, but I can't say for sure if that's true. But they don't give stuff out for free. But like when you talk shit about the products, one of the team riders is always like in the DMs pretty quick, saying, "Oh, if you do this or if you do that," or making excuses. And I'm just like, and it's kind of tiring. Like it's nice that they make products, but like it's kind of exhausting to do work for free. You know what I mean? Um, so there's that. But if they did describe like, how the product actually performs and it did make sense, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. But look, superior grip and energy return when G-forces load up to peak intensity. What does that mean? That means nothing. That's zero. Unparalleled braking. Against what? Snappy pre-drifts. Against what? Predictable slide release and hookup. Which is it? Is it predictable or is it snappy? Quick acceleration, nimble edge-to-edge response. Like, the grippiest race urethane ever seen in skateboarding, bar none. Named after the Greek letter delta. Thanks. That's exactly what I need to decide if this product is for me. I want to be like the Greeks. I want to have deltas and alphas, and what next? We're going to have omegas and Plato's or whatever, bro. Like you see, like it's kind of annoying. So let's see if there's another offender. Let's see. Cold Trotter Pro Wheels. Yeah. Maybe we'll grab him here. I don't know why my internet is so slow. Maybe Full Circle. Why isn't Full Circle showing up? Let's see. Trotter Pro Series. Okay, let's see these guys if they're any better. Um, 82mm. Yeah, you see, designed to grip harder, ride faster, and smoother. Like, there's not much we're being told, and that's why we need reviews. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, yeah. There's not much we're getting, and that's again why we need reviews. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed that small rant, and I'll catch you guys soon. Hopefully, keep the ball rolling with this stuff. We may not. We'll see if I can get like a client, not a client, a whatever next week on the 11th, an interviewee. I will make a podcast. But I'll be harassing people, and hopefully we can keep the ball rolling with this stuff. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the support, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.